Dyslexia symptoms. Misreading the when the correct word is this, by Russell Van Brocklin, editor and founding consultant, Dyslexiaconsultants.com. A lot of times when you're doing research for the symptoms of dyslexia, you're coming across a problem where the dyslexic student in question is just constantly misreading words. For example, let's say the student's supposed to be reading, "This is the car we're going to drive." Instead, they read, "The is the car we're going to drive." It's supposed to be this, but instead they read the word "the." And a lot of times, the reasoning for this confuses people. If you do a lot of research, you're going to find, for example, at the International Center for Dyslexia and Creative Studies at Yale University, that their theory, which is backed up by a multi-year, multi-million-dollar grant from the federal government, is that the problem really has to do with, in a simplistic term, decoding. If you look at a lot of research, the neuroscans, which I'm fully in support of that they've done, is that they found the back part of the dyslexic brain there's just not much neural activity going on there. It's much less than that of general education students. But the front part of the dyslexic brain is vastly overactive. It appears to be about 3 times overactive. So while Yale will tell you it's primarily, in a way, a decoding problem, and that there are certain steps in their book, Overcoming Dyslexia, and how they recommend helping dyslexics overcoming this problem of misreading, trying to read the word "this," but they read "the." That's one aspect. I'm here to argue that by using the front part of the dyslexic student's brain, the part that's about 3 times overactive, if you ask the dyslexic student in question 2 questions, and that's all I'm asking you to do, ask them 2 questions. The first one is, ask them to start thinking about a subject that they really care about a lot, something that they really care about. Just keep that in mind when you ask the question. So ask the dyslexic student, is there a subject that you really care a lot about, and you came up with an idea that you want to communicate. So you have this great idea, you want to communicate it, and then you go to type it out or to handwrite it out, and then right when you try to type it out or to handwrite it out, the idea just flies away. And if they shake their head, "Yeah," good, then go on to the next question. In a subject that they really care about, it could be playing basketball, it could be an academic subject such as history or music, or it could be trivia questions or sport trivia. It doesn't really matter in general, but to the specific dyslexic, it means everything. So what academic subject or what do they find fascinating? And then ask them, in that specific area, do you find that your mind is moving around at 1,000,000 miles an hour? You have all these ideas, but little or no organization. And if they say yes, then this is where we can help. Because then what you can see here first is the dyslexic starts having an idea that pops into their brain, and then they go to type it out and it just flies off. And in general, for what they really care about, they have all these ideas in their head, but there's little or no organization. So what does that tell us? That dyslexia is primarily not a reading problem, it's not a decoding problem, as Yale would suggest. It's primarily a lack of organization. And if you look at the research from Yale, that the front part of the brain is approximately 3 times overactive, what you're really seeing here, we theorize here at Dyslexiaconsultants.com, is that there's just so much overactivity in the front part of the brain, that little or no organization, that if we're able to apply organization through writing, through giving them templates to control their ideas, that the student can then can communicate what they wish, their ideas, in writing. That is the process that we recommend to overcoming the symptoms of dyslexia. If you have some more questions on this, please watch our other videos, or please contact us at Dyslexiaconsultants.com, and let's see what we can do to help you overcome the symptoms of dyslexia.